Bag Lady, you gonna miss your bus. Bag Lady, that's Erica Badu with Bag Lady. Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmond.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka CDAT.
CDAT.
And we would like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool. All right, so look like we back up, y'all. They blocked us on the first segment.
They blocking, but they not stopping.
They're blocking, but what they said, delayed but not denied.
Delayed, not denied.
Yeah, they tried it though. And so it's What's on Your Mind Wednesday. So yeah, definitely feel free to give us a call. Sierra, joyful, everything, beautiful being.
That's right. I'm doing stupendously magnificent.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Superbly fantastic.
Yeah. That's right.
You know, I'm feeling,
she got some amazing adjectives.
I'm
right?
feeling magically delightful today.
That's right.
Big shouts out to Sierra.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Really like using her words to describe and name how you feeling.
That's right.
Sharonda, good morning. I see you, Mama Blue. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all the love and all of the support with the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. So, Tropicana Field redevelopment.
Who?
Yeah, the mayor restarts the request for proposal process.
Okay, big shouts out to Mayor Ken Welch.
Yep. So the city of St. Petersburg will cancel the request for proposals to redevelop the 86-acre Tropicana Field site that was issued in July of 2020 to launch a new request for proposal process. It was announced by Mayor Ken Welch a couple weeks ago.
RFP.
Yep.
RFP
request for proposal. Yep. So the new RFP request, which will release in August, comes after city leaders and staff considered city needs, the economic trends, and the changing workforce needs, according to a news release by the mayor's office. The city will host a series. Here's what we need y'all to do. Here's the part that we need you to pay attention to, y'all. The city will host a series of community outreach events as the RFP is developed.
Mm-hmm.
A form will be provided to provide input. It will be available online. And then Mayor Welch, who was once the county commissioner when the process began 2 years ago, said that he was impressed by the efforts of the two finalists in the initial call for proposals, Midtown Development and Sugar Hill Community Partners. And we actually had Sugar Hill, they came in and talked with us a couple weeks ago as well. The mayor said, however, our environment has changed in many ways since the initial RFP was issued in July of 2020, and we must ensure the RFP meets the current environment and realities and incorporates the most up-to-date information.
That's right. I mean, I really stand with the mayor on this issue because the terrain has changed.
Right.
And before we break ground and really, marry the developer, we got to re-look at things.
Yeah.
It might have to be a poly marriage where it's two developers,
okay,
3 developers. You might have to get creative. This is 86 acres. There's nowhere in the United States of America where there's a development in a downtown corridor that's this big.
Right.
So that's so huge. I think that it needs to be relooked at. I think the community need to have another strike at the voice of really having a voice at, talking about what we need in the community, because like they say, the terrain has changed.
Yeah. And again, that RFP, I think the Rays and their contract and the relationship with the Rays also had a lot to do with the way the RFP was written, because whether they leave or whether they stay. And so I think
this particular rendition is with a stadium, if I'm not mistaken, because I think the two, like Sugar Hill and the Midtown group, made a proposal with the Rays on the stadium, on the property, and the one with the Rays not on the property.
Okay, and so the Rays are staying now?
It's like 2-3 years before we find out.
Before they come all the way clean.
Yeah, because honestly, all over America, teams are looking for communities to build stadiums,
right?
To build their facilities, and a lot of communities are resisting.
Okay.
Now every community,
they're not accepting
every
the
community
coming into their community.
Not, interested in building a multi-billion-dollar facility for a profit organization.
Right. Right.
And I think that need to be factored in, because if the Rays ain't helping build it, why are we designing it?
It is their state. I guess it's reasons why. There's like an answer to that question. I don't have it right off.
I know it's an answer. I know it's an answer.
So that was rhetorical, huh?
But yeah, it's just a figure of speech.
Yeah.
But I don't know the answer either, though.
Yeah.
So it's a real question. But it's just the reality we deal in. Do we want to raise that bad? Has the raise contributed to the community in such a manner that we'll build them another multi-billion-dollar stadium free of charge?
Wow.
I mean, that's something for the community to ask. I mean, that ain't my answer. I ain't got no answer yet. I need to look at the particulars better.
Right. And that's what they're saying. So there will be an opportunity for public input. And that's what we want y'all to stay plugged in for.
You know what? They need to engage community development and training center.
Yeah.
So we can engage the community.
Yeah.
So we can have the community more engaged with the process.
More engaged with the process. Absolutely.
Because I think this is a focus group type thing.
Yeah. Eric Jackson, I see you, big bro. Thank you for tuning in. Royal Court, Sierra, I see you. Royce, I see you. Cuz, I see you. Tammy Bennett over there in Bradenton. Thank you for checking in with us. Renee, she doing her thing, tagging folks. Shout out to
Renee, man.
Yeah, consistently doing
Saturday
her thing.
Morning market, man, at Tropicana parking lot.
Yeah.
The side parking lot. I don't know what number it is. Forgive me, Renee. They just did some big stuff this weekend. Or last weekend. Was it last weekend? This weekend.
It seems like every weekend, because every time they do anything,
swinging it like that.
They do
Renee, it feel like every weekend.
Yeah, they feel like every weekend because they somewhere every weekend.
That's right. Major respect, Tampa, Atlanta, wherever she got it at.
Real talk. And so just wrapping this up, y'all, about the mayor again. So additionally, Welch wants to focus on intentional equity and equitable development as the project moves forward. Those are things that we need to pay attention to as well. He said restarting the process is also a chance to bring certainty to the future of the Tampa Bay Rays in St. Petersburg. While the expiration of the Rays lease on Tropicana Field is in 2027, it represents a real time constraint. It is crucial that this generational project be done right. Emphasis must be placed on meeting the city's needs, delivering progress for our residents, and building a district that will be a world-class destination to visit, live, and work.
So, go ahead. I got a question.
Last thing. Then Welch said, I am optimistic. We will choose the right path, one that will bring jobs, equitable and diverse business opportunities, meet our need for housing, meeting space, and innovative economic drivers, and support the state-of-the-art home for the Rays for decades to come.
So my question is, because when I hear the equitable outcomes, I hear this. I wonder, will the community benefits agreement be applied to this project?
It will.
But I know, like in the past, as it was being crafted, it was felt that we would miss this shot. And then also, like, you know, the CRA, when the community redevelopment area was drawn, the Tropicana Field site and other major tax revenues locations were cut out of the CRA.
Right.
So, you know, just want to make sure we keep our eyes on the prize, y'all.
Yeah, but with the California, with the community benefits agreement, it's an ordinance now. And with the amount of land and all of that stuff, like, it definitely will fall under the CBA policy. And that's what the RFP is. So when you do a request for a proposal, the way that they write it is they write in all of the community benefits and the different things that they want to have in the proposal. And so as you're designing, as a developer is designing it, they have to design it based upon this criteria that's in the proposal.
So like that 1% that one group was given, which they say was generous. They say 1% was generous.
Okay.
I don't know where 1% get to be generous at.
Yeah.
Especially when we, the community, own the property.
Right.
But that's a long story.
Yeah.
But so that was like a community benefit, the 1%, what they call it, endowment, that was going to be made with one of the other groups.
Right. And maybe, you know, now that they have another bite at the apple, they'll
go to 10%, 20%.
Well, yeah, you got to consider the conversations. If you're really doing it for real, you got to, like, this was feedback that you received, and you received feedback that 1% wasn't enough.
That we looking for 10, 20%?
Right. Yeah, that we looking for. Let's take a couple of these comments. And so looks like a lot of people are generally supportive of the project. I see Renee, she said, I really think the community should be able to interview the developers.
Ooh, talk that talk, Renee.
We can.
We might do it at the Trop.
Now here's the thing.
At a Saturday morning shop.
This is why you pay attention to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We had them here, and it was call in.
No, but you know what?
We have conversations.
We're gonna make it big this time.
And and it was like Zoom meetings. So I'm just saying that's why we need to be plugged in, because it was opportunities to interview developers.
But at the beginning, right? You know, when they first was doing the drawings and the layouts, because I went to a couple of them at USF,
right?
and one of the design teams, not the particular two that was, and it may have
like
been,
and then the qualification. I think all of them was there.
But no, it may have been one of them.
Okay.
But long story short, it was a lot of people there. There was a lot of people involved. But one of the things that I did lack, it was a lack of melanin in the building.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, we need to be present.
I'm just saying.
And I think that's one of them things, like what you said, the city can engage the CDAT Center to help to increase them engagement numbers.
That's one of the things, because a lot of times when these consultants come from out of town, oftentimes y'all don't know, but what they do is they come and run to us, or somebody like us, and what the problem is, we have to keep those dollars in the community.
Right.
It was millions of dollars spent on this process. How much of that millions went local? Right. And what we got to realize is that when these how can you say, proposals and things come out, a lot of times there is ways and places where the local can get in on some of those dollars.
Right.
And we like the mayor said, we have to be intentional with our equity, because the situation that we're in as a community was put on us intentionally.
Right.
These laws were written intentionally. We were intentionally redlined to hazardous communities.
Yes, sir.
Right. Where there's environmental concerns.
Yeah.
This all was intentional. So what we got to do to get ourselves out of this is be just as intentional to get our wages up and our earning power up.
Real talk. And another one of the comments says, I feel like they're going to bust our head again, like they did with the pier. All they did was pocket a lot of money. They never give anything back to our community.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the kind of the lay of the land.
Wow. So the pier, so they slapped their head on the pier?
That's the lay of the land.
I'm just asking. It's what's on your mind. So are people satisfied with the pier?
Okay.
I mean, that's a question.
What's on your mind?
Because
727-637-2416, or put it in the chat. What's on your mind? You satisfied with the pill?
How you like the pill?
Yeah, because that is an indicator. And this is like, I think the pill was under 100 million, was like 80 million or something like that. And this 86 acres is like multi-billion.
So if the pill was 80 million, they should have spent 150.
Yeah. Renee said the pier is boring to me.
Hey, keep it 1,000. It's $80 million park.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's the design. It's called Pier Park.
But that wasn't the design that people chose.
It was not.
That wasn't the design. It was a bait and switch. Let's call it like it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the city has a reputation.
Yeah, for baiting and switching.
I mean, the reality is, don't promise it if you can't produce it.
Yeah. Or don't promise it if you're not going to deliver it. Because because it was promised, and like what you said, the process for that whole peer process, and I'm glad you put that in the comments, everybody who mentioned that, because I think it's important, because that whole process of input, you're right, there was like surveys, there was voting on
focus
different
groups.
designs.
They don't call them focus group, but it was like focus group.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think I took part in.
Yeah, we hosted it at Child's Park.
We
hosted a focus group at Child's Park.
We are active, y'all.
And it was, intentionally put, because it was like, okay, well, y'all meet in a lot of places, but y'all haven't met here.
Exactly.
And so we was like, come here and meet, so we can give input on the pier, because we go to the pier too. And like I'm saying, that process, it led to like three finalists, the top three. The one that the people chose,
the lens or something like that.
That wasn't the one. The lens was something else before that too. The lens,
out of here, man.
Yeah, the lens was. I'm telling you, the lens was something else. I think they restarted the process after the lens.
Because they picked the wrong one. Let's try it again.
Shuffle the deck. Then the people picked again, and then the city administrator at the time, who was eventually fired after that. Well, not immediately after that, but the city administrator at the time was like, we want the Pier Park, like basically just buck the people and what the design team was, what the design and the vote was, which was a travesty.
So that's
par for the course.
That's lessons learned on city administration, city staff. If you're listening, don't bait and switch. Promise what you can produce.
Yeah.
And if you can't produce it, look people in their eyes squarely. Because I'm gonna tell you, I've done a lot of focus groups. We've done a lot of focus groups. And oftentimes when we do these focus groups, the outcome doesn't match what the focus group produced.
Yeah.
And
like the listening, because we've done listening
we've done listening tours, listening sessions for several different groups.
Yeah, write up reports and say this is what the people said.
And then what's produced is some clearly the opposite.
Yeah.
So let's stop these vanity listening sessions, because that's what it is.
Thank you.
It's vanity sessions, and let's really listen to the people.
Right.
Let's stop playing and see. We can talk. I'm talking from experience.
Yeah.
Like we've been the author of the report, and it goes to the organization. Then the organization flatly does something totally different.
Yeah. And it's crazy because the scope of our work is to present the report and tell you what the people said and what they want to see. And then when the people tell you what they said and what they want to see, now it's up to you as an organization to implement it. And what we're seeing is a lot of these implementations are falling way short. Yeah. Another one of the questions coming in says, how do we go from $1 million pier to an apartment complex / skate park? We downgraded, family. Yeah.
Hey,
it's really real.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. I don't think it was clearly thought out.
Okay.
Because of the temperature. It's very hot.
Yeah.
And the AC
climate change.
The AC area of the pier is very minute.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is it's a lot of heat from let's say from the bottom of the pier, from you first come in all the way to the pier.
Right.
At a hot day like it's been a couple of days ago, it'll be a nightmare for me to walk to the pier.
For you to go that way.
I mean, a nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, a nightmare. So my eyes be hurting when the sun be too bright.
Okay.
So like when I go to the pier, like I done been to the pier on one of them hot days, and it's like the sun is reflecting off the concrete, and it's bouncing off the concrete, and it blinds me.
Wow.
So they should have made that like a darker color.
Yeah, and I know they was asking too why I had so many cracks in the concrete on opening day.
Because it was cracks in the plan. Of course you're gonna have cracks in the concrete when there's cracks in the plan.
All right, y'all. So listen, what we're gonna do is we gotta take a real quick break. We're gonna take a break, listen to some Democracy Now! Headline news. And then when we come back, we're coming back at the top of the hour. We'll probably be like 8:05, and we have a special guest, Maress Scott of Quis for Life. He's going to be joining us, and we're going to talk about the work that he's doing, amazing work that he's doing, and how we can get involved and how we can contribute to that work as a community. Right. And so y'all stick around for it. You're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99 Gems. We'll be right back after this quick break.
At 12 hours GMT, welcome to the newsroom from the BBC World Service. I'm Rachel Wright. The British Prime Minister faces rolling chaos in Downing Street. The opposition leader attacks the Prime Minister and his cabinet in the House of Commons.
In the middle of a crisis, doesn't the country deserve better than a Z-list cast of nodding dogs?
In South Africa, the funerals of 21 young people whose deaths are still unexplained. The president of Croatia gets his son's exam results boosted, and the only copy of Dylan's masterpiece is up for auction.
It felt holy playing this song with him. It always feels holy for me playing with Bob. But this is not mass-produced. It's a signed original, a handmade, archival-level recording.
You're listening to the BBC World Service. First, the news.
Hello, I'm Debbie Russ with the BBC News. The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has defended his record amid increasing calls from his own party to step down. Mr Johnson was answering questions in Parliament for the first time since more than a dozen of his fellow Conservative MPs resigned from their roles in government, including 2 senior cabinet ministers. He said he would continue in the job.
It's exactly when times are tough and when the country faces pressures on the economy and pressures on their budgets, Mr. Speaker, and when we have the biggest war in Europe for 80 years, Mr. Speaker, that is exactly the moment that you'd expect a government to continue with its work, not to walk away, Mr. Speaker, and to get on with our job and to focus on the things that matter to the people of this country.
The leader of the opposition Labour Party, Keir Starmer, repeated accusations that the Prime Minister had issued misleading statements on a number of occasions. He condemned Mr Johnson and his newly appointed ministers.
What a pathetic spectacle. Exactly. The dying act of his political career is to parrot that nonsense. And as for those who are left, only in office because no one else is prepared to debase themselves any longer, the charge of the lightweight brigade.
Our political correspondent Rob Watson watched the exchanges.
It was certainly a pretty extraordinary session. You can't help picking out several points. One is the grim faces on the governing Conservative Party benches behind Boris Johnson. Amidst all this, with this sort of real sense in the chamber, you could just tell it that the Prime Minister's authority is ebbing away. But he was still actually remarkably defiant and remains defiant.
Thousands of mourners have been attending a mass funeral in the South African city of East London for 21 young people who died in mysterious circumstances at a nightclub more than a week ago. President Cyril Ramaphosa, who gave a eulogy at the service, sat alongside relatives who wept uncontrollably.
All right. Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmund.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That.
See That.
And we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool. What's good, big bro?
Oh man, the work. I want to give a big shout out to the people who getting their work in. That's not hating. That's celebrating other people who are also getting their work in.
People be hating on people, man, that ain't getting their work in.
Yeah, I think so. It's a lot of hate going on around here. I think it's very contagious.
Okay.
And so be careful who you around and who you talk to and who you listen to, because sometimes the hate is passed on, like how COVID was. You got to stay 6 feet away.
Yeah. Ooh.
You got to stay 10 feet away from the hate. I'm just saying.
Wow. Yeah.
It's contagious.
You're right. You got to stay away from it.
Too close to it,
boy. You better stay away from it. Mask up, away from the hate. I love it. Keep your hands clean. Right?
It's a whole process.
It's a whole process, just like COVID. Keep your. I like that. Yeah, that's the truth. Stay away from the hate because it is going around. That's a song that Stevie Wonder's called "Love Is in Need of Love," and he said hate is going around, breaking many hearts. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Stop it, please, before it goes too far." So yeah, love is in need of love, and hate is going around, man.
It is,
and breaking many hearts. Speaking of hate going around, hate for the black man. We talked about that multiple occasions. It's kind of hard not to, and we lifted it up earlier. There was a black man that was paralyzed after the New Haven Police Department threw him into a police van.
Oh yeah, the kid. He was going to like juvie or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
was he? Well, I'm trying to think. If
I thought he was a kid, but
let me see. Let me just read it here. It says New Haven police, they're in hot water after a viral video surfaced of their lack of initiative and harsh treatment towards Randy Cox. So he's not a kid. He was a 36-year-old black man.
Oh, well, so I'm talking about another one.
There's another one. Yep, another one. And I got it here as well. Good morning, Tweet. I see you. Thank you. It says on June 18th, Cox was arrested at a block party when Connecticut officers were called on Lilac Street after someone stated that he had a gun. Authorities state that during the arrest, Cox was being uncooperative and is a convicted felon, which means that he is not permitted to have a gun. Hold on. Yeah, he's not permitted to have a gun. There he is, the man with the plan. What's going on, big brother? Peace and light. And so they said the officers arrested Cox and placed him in the back of the police van with no seatbelts. Shortly after, Cox flew into the front.
First.
Yeah, you saw it. So Cox flew into the front of a vehicle after Officer Oscar Diaz hit the brakes to avoid another car in an accident. He suffered lifelong damages from the collision. His neck after smashing his head into the wall when the car crashed. He was pleading to officers for assistance as his motionless body lay in agony. Officer Diaz continued driving the van, ignoring his calls for help. A few minutes later, the van stopped to check on Fox, who could not move his body, and all of this stuff was on video.
Rough with him then too.
Yeah, they got rough.
They stopped that vehicle and start a massage therapist.
No,
what they do, it's called a rough ride. So a lot of people ain't never heard of this.
That's right, Breno.
When they transporting you, like say you have words with an officer, or you've known to have words with officers or whatever.
Yeah.
And or if you just say you just ran from the police and they put you in the paddy wagon,
you make them chase them.
Yeah, they leave you unrestrained and drive a little crazy. It's called a rough ride.
Okay.
To throw you around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like intentional. They did this to another brother.
Was that Freddie Gray?
It was Freddie Gray.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. It was reminiscent of Freddie Gray.
And they said on Freddie Gray case that they was going to give him a rough ride. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And some people don't know in terms of it being called a rough ride, right? But people know that when you do something to the police gonna get aggressive with you, and that shouldn't be known, right? Because that's making the police the judge and the jury.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's Marquise Floyd. Marquise Floyd was known. He was said to have killed the police officer in Orlando, one he grew up with, and he also killed another police officer. This brother I think he's just now getting sentenced, and that was like almost 3-4 years ago. When
I think was that Tampa? Orlando. Okay, yeah. Okay, I got you.
I got a little more the inside scoop of that right there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah.
But it was crazy because a guy who was known to kill the police officer, like literally they stumped his left or right eye out.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
Lloyd.
Marquise Lloyd.
Yeah.
I did a show on it on the Reno Moore show back then.
Yeah.
Only because I was in Orlando working, and I recognized that the news that I was hearing in the Tampa Bay area on Fox News and so forth and so on, it was not the news of the hood.
Yeah,
it's never.
See, I was going into salons in Orlando, and so it was
getting the real news.
You have the tea factory. But back to the point, though. The point was that, it was accepted that the police was going to get rough with him, and like I said, they stumped one of his eyes out.
Yeah,
because he was known to kill 2 of their co-workers, their guys.
Right.
So you watch the gang.
Yeah,
you watch the authorized gang.
So that gang retaliation, gang retaliation is absolutely real. And so I mean, like I haven't seen the riots and the protests and all of that, but definitely it's something about this particular case, because you know how
in Chicago they got stuff going on in Chicago about another shooting though. It ain't about this.
They had started though. That's how it hit my wire.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? I did see the protests starting to rally. People was asking for like a cry.
Okay,
like a cry. You know what I'm saying? Cry for help.
Right.
But then it did get overshadowed by Jitterbug.
Is that
murder in
Chicago? The 80 bullets, 90 bullets, 60. Ohio.
So I got it here.
Yes, sir.
Y'all want to Elmo?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Jalen Walker, that's the brother who we mentioning right now. Jalen Walker, he suffered at least 60 wounds in a fatal police shooting in Akron. Akron police chief says after they released the body camera footage, 25-year-old black man suffered at least 60 shots when police officers fatally shot him last week following a high-speed chase during which the man fired a gun out the driver's side window, authorities said.
Oh, I just want to say.
Yeah, authorities said.
I know we're on like dead air.
Yeah.
On the air, but I think we should be giving a little slight pause, moment of silence as our people continue to be assassinated, y'all.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like
let's take it. Let's take a moment of silence.
And we thank y'all for partaking in the moment of silence for one of our fallen brothers, man. Another one of our fallen brothers, man.
Because I got another story.
Hold on.
Let's go. Yeah, go.
Wait, we got to finish the one. Like they come in rapid fire. So Jalen Walker was unarmed at the time he was killed, though a gun was recovered from his car after the shooting. Akron, Ohio police chief said at a news conference when police released large portions
of the video,
of the video from 13 officers who were at the scene.
Not the whole video of none.
And they were what they call it when they look at it first before they send it in to y'all.
They always
they edited it. Chopped and screwed it.
They always do
chopped and screwed the video.
Yeah. Man, who they DJ is?
They said the shooting remains under investigation by the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations. According to the chief, 8 police officers fired their weapons following the vehicle pursuit in a short foot chase, believing Walker was turning towards them, reaching toward his waist, and moving into a firing position.
And what I want to say, I hate to say this, but it seems like that man was right to run for his life.
Yeah.
Because for them to kill him at the end.
Listen, this ain't
90 shots.
It's not. The thing is, this
hit
is
60
the
times.
one.
He was hit 60, but they say it was like 90 or 120 fired.
Shot. Yeah, it was a lot of shots fired, like 120 shots fired. 60 of them landed. This actually was a video that I actually watched, y'all. And y'all know me. I don't even partake in like Charlotte Soprano say, man, snuff films.
Yeah.
When we know the outcome of the video, like you're legit watching a snuff film.
It's Faces of Death.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I tuned into this one. I don't know. I mean, I listened to myself. I said watch it. You know what I'm saying. So I watched it. And I was watching. How many officers they say? Brother John, about 12 officers.
13 officers.
So I watched about 13 to 16. And so, but when they say 10 Charlotte Soprano, like I get that because I did watch the ones who was out there. You saw one of them running with an AR. You know what I'm saying? Like you saw him running with it. You know what I mean? But by the time he got up, you saw some officers who didn't fire off because they was already done by the time they ran up. So even though there were only 10 officers that was shot, I seen like 16 videos on YouTube. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And
16 different videos.
16 different videos. It says officer 1, officer 2.
Okay, because they got
so
different cameras from different officers. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
So I literally watched every video, and I was taken back because I was taken back in awe, and I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
But I'm really in a heavy studying mode right now, and my studying is rooted in how are they treating their people. Because what I'm saying is, I'm taken back because the way they're treating their people in front of us is like we have to start to show ourselves this kind of love too. You see what I'm saying? Because again, we are watching where people have no problem murdering us while we're running from them. This is never a conversation about was my life in danger.
Right.
And then we're also followed behind this, and this happens to be an oversaturated week of this story, where we have countless situations where they're arresting their own people. We have to start looking at different things through different lenses, the same situations through different lenses. You see what I'm saying? Our people are being gunned down as they are running away, not sleeping and reaching for something. And we thought it was a weapon because we've already fell for that.
No, that was in there too. No.
I watched the video, right?
Yeah, they keep it consistent. I'm saying the story. The
story is consistent, right? In the video, Brother John, you see something like a rock or something. We'll say he shot, right? You saw that while the vehicle was still moving.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when he ran, like Charles Soprano was saying, he was running for his life. He thought in his mind, as I run, I should be okay. Yeah. Right? Because I'm not posing a threat when I'm running for my life. And that's where we can't be more wrong. Big threat energy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big threat energy.
And it's a traffic stop. That's the whole.
When you watch those videos of all those guys run up and shoot, you don't see no reason for no one shooting, and you see them join the shoot.
Right.
You see officers join the shootout.
But what I'm gonna say often starts from a traffic stop. It often starts from something minor. It doesn't
equipment violations is what it was saying.
Yeah.
So tail light or something crazy. Yeah.
Stuff that happened to us.
Yeah.
Just be clear.
After 40 seconds, the pursuit began. Police say a gunshot was fired from Walker's vehicle. That changes the whole nature of the traffic stop.
These stories don't change too.
That's what I'm telling you.
The jitterbug just now. His story was he was a rapper. He was a Trump supporter. He's arrested.
Okay.
See, that's the narrative, right? And the narrative.
What you talking about is the mass shooting that just happened.
Okay,
so hold on. So hold on.
Yes, sir.
We don't want to get them mixed up.
Yes, sir.
Because you did kind of throw me with that one.
Yes, sir. Okay. My bad. I can't load it.
Yeah. All right. So Dwayne, I see you, big bro. Kiss, I see you, James. Thank you for tuning in. Man Cave. Shout out to Man Cave.
Man, big shouts out to the Man Cave, man.
Man
Cave in the building, man.
Man Cave in the building. And so, again, the story is consistent. You see the common narrative. We thought he had a gun, or he allegedly did something. The taser wasn't working, but what do you do when running for your life? Like you can't even run without. Like you got the brother got shot in the back, Walter Scott. You getting people, you gotta
get people in there, man. That make better decisions on your people, and that's why people always cry. Big shouts out to Uhuru and organizations like that who cry out for community control of the police.
Yeah,
because this is what it is. When Jitterbug grew up over there by Jordan Park, or Jitterbug grew up there by 54th. Like he's not so easy to just get so rough with him. But then we have to, because we have us represented in officers, and those officers are labeled sometimes the worst officers.
Okay,
I like to dive into those officers' childhoods,
the stories of the worst officers.
The black cop, the worst cop. Now this is a common thread, a common theme that's coming from us.
Dang, I ain't never heard that.
The black cop is the worst cop sometimes.
Yeah, you heard that in NWA, when black police showing out for the white cop. That was.
I mean, I do.
And then it got presented.
I won't say worse.
It got presented in cinematic form in Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? When the black cop was showing out for so that narrative. And the only thing I'm saying is, do a little dive and research these cops when they were children, and you might find them being bullied because these people a lot of times are the versions of us that hate us.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And when you're a black man that hate black men because of what happened to you in your childhood, guess what you'll do when you get older? You're gonna take it out on black men.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna,
you know what I'm saying? You join the wrong squad sometimes. You know what I mean? Because what you're watching is you'll watch how they handle their own. You have to stop looking at this right here. You can't keep saying, I know George didn't rape her. You know, because what you're doing is you're modelizing this same conversation. It's almost 200 years old, right? By saying that he really didn't rape her, or by saying that he really didn't steal the chicken that they accused him of. Like, we have to remember, y'all, that this lady is just not being arrested right now for lying, right, on Emmett Till, right?
So wait, hold on.
Yeah,
she was arrested. They say there was arrested.
They're looking to arrest her. I'm sorry.
And like I said, you got a mean stream of consciousness.
No, she ain't arrested.
Hold on.
They're looking to my bad. Thank you, Charles Soprano.
We got to back up because that was like a transition. He just moved right into
I came with it though. My bad.
You got to let it breathe.
Yeah. You got to let the track build up. Man. My bad. Let the beat build.
Real quick, though, I want to shout out to Bo, Church in the Streets, man. I see you, big bro. I see you, and I was tuned in to Church in the Streets. So shout out to Bo, man.
Church in the Streets, I gotta check it out.
Yeah, Church in the Streets. Yeah, he do videos with Church in the Streets, telling you and teaching you things that your pastor might not have taught you. And,
speaking of, I ain't gonna switch to the pastor.
No.
There's a pastor
he was like,
story.
speaking of,
there's a pastor story, but no, I'm gonna go to the in Spain. On the border of Spain, there is I would say a genocide going on. I don't know. This is my opinion.
Okay.
Right. The news is not talking about it. So a lot of Africans have been forced to migrate to Spain, or the Spanish border, or what Spaniards or whatever else, and they're like really wholesale killing these brothers.
Yeah,
there's videos going around with over 100+ bodies just laying dead in the middle of a courtyard, no, not even a purge. This is genocide because
it's type of purge.
You can't just kill immigrants trying to immigrate to your country.
You can do whatever you want to when all y'all agree on it. That's how. That's.
No, but the problem is we can't agree with it. See,
no, we can't agree with anything
because us in America, we don't even say nothing about it. So only reason I've seen it because I matched one of those videos that we don't watch.
Yeah.
And so I
watched the video that we don't watch.
We both did it.
Yeah. It was something on the inside. We both said it on the inside.
Some say watch the video.
Y'all, we don't do this, y'all.
And I
hold on. Usually I don't do this.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just watch this video.
I watched this. I'm just gonna watch this one.
That's what kind of week it was last
So I
week,
watched the video, man, and it was sad because at first I didn't understand was they knocked out unconscious. I didn't understand, right? Because none of the officers was rendering aid. So I didn't really understand what I was watching until I kept watching. I'm reading the comments, and like they have been killing these people, and this has been going on. It's just this particular video happened to hit the surface. So they've been killing these people. So I imagine there's going to be mass graves somewhere, you know, where all these people buried on top of each other, these black brothers and sisters.
Like the Devil's Punch Bowl.
You know what I mean? Trying to immigrate to Spain, and these people straight whacking them, killing them. You can look it up.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Google it.
Hey, man, listen, it's going down. So one of the things I like to highlight what Charlotte Soprano was talking about.
International news, y'all.
Is
international news.
That's my lane right there. You know what I'm saying? It's international read right here, baby. Hey, one of the things I like to highlight is when we talk about these kind of stories, I bring up when COVID-19 first became a story. We had to share a story about how Africans were being treated in China. Right. And the Chinese people were kicking Africans out in the streets and telling them to go back to Africa because they brought it over here. Now it's funny to listen to Trump blame Chinese for it. And then the Chinese blame the powerless people for it, right? Because the powerless people can't speak for themselves when they're powerless, right? So did this right here. Then World War III broke out, right? At the beginning of World War III, we were also made prone to images of our people being kicked out of Ukraine. Not even kicked out of Ukraine, but kicked off trains.
Clear, you calling the war in Ukraine the kickoff of World War III?
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
Got it.
Yes, sir.
Got
it. So now here we go. Now what we're doing is we're watching our people being treated all kind of ways, right? That's not a problem because you have to deal with first. When we as a people start to deal into the first law of nature, we'll start to navigate on this chessboard a little better than what we're doing right now, right?
Right.
So within the first law of nature is self-preservation, y'all. You see what I'm saying? Your problem ain't how people are treating your people around the world. Your problem is your inability to help them. That's why you don't see Asian people being murdered by the police all over America because China say, "Hey, what y'all doing to our people over there?" But when you guys are unorganized, it's 1.7 billion of y'all. You gotta listen to these people, man. They're projecting that they're not going to be here in 300 years, right? That's their projection as a race. And so they have to do something like get rid of things that we call abortion, because as a race, they are projected to not be on the planet in 300 years, y'all. And they have to stop that. You see what I'm saying? And so you can't blame people when you look at the world from the plane. We are here.
Was that why I was marching saying you will not replace us? Is that what that is? Is that the part of that whole?
Yeah, because in Europe, the Arab is being used as the Mexican is being used in America. And so the borders and all that stuff in Europe, they're complaining about the Arabs oversaturating and making it a brown country.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Mexican is being utilized in this conversation, the same thing over here.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And so what's happened is the smallest versions of humans on the planet Earth, who we call European people. And we have to understand this. They are the smallest numbers. So that's their job, to give us screwed numbers like we are minorities.
Okay.
It messes with us psychologically because it makes us not do anything. It makes us sit back and be in a fear position. We're outnumbered.
Yeah.
No, we're not outnumbered.
Well, they set the system and say the majority rules, and then they say you all are the minority and we ruling.
It's a pretty cool trick.
Yeah.
In basketball, they call it a Euro step, I believe.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna. Or back in the day, we used to call the same thing side step. I'm gonna sidestep you real quick. Football is called juke you.
And in some circles they call it identity theft.
In the real world, it's called identity theft.
Yeah.
Stolen legacy.
Stolen legacy. Y'all get that one? That's a good book.
Stolen Legacy. Please
Robin,
read it. Good one, Brother John.
No, that's it. That's Mr. Evans' recommendation.
There it is. I'll give y'all a little bit of the Devil's Punch Bowl. Black people have learned about the Jewish concentration camps in Nazi Germany, but no one has ever told them about what the U.S. created for them. You see what I'm saying? So you got to stroll through the history books, y'all. We have the Devil's Punch Bowl. What's the Devil's Punch Bowl? The history books always have made it seem as the concentration camps are only linked to the atrocities of Nazi Germany. But America has its own dirty secrets, y'all, in the concentration camps with black people. They just slightly changed the name, referring to us as contraband camps. You see what I'm saying? But in Mississippi, right, is a result of Natchez, Mississippi quickly grew the population to 10,000 to 100,000. Sometimes we overpopulated them in a lot of areas, y'all.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But what they did was they slaughtered hundreds of thousands of black people.
So I want to take this too, because what you just mentioned is actually mentioned in the comments as well. We talk about population, and the comment says depopulation agenda is in full effect. They got us with the vaccinations from COVID, food, medicine, the media, deep feminization of the black man. So many ways that they're targeting us to depopulate the earth. And then it goes into some statistics and some numbers, but I think it's right on, spot on. When we're talking about how we overpopulate, and then this is the response that we're seeing is
most of the black men, most of the black men are in the labor camps, right?
Mm-hmm.
The women and children were mostly locked behind concrete walls of the camps, left to die from starvation and smallpox. This is in America.
Yeah.
In total, an estimated of over 20,000 former slaves died as a result in 1 year of this particular camp. Now, mind you, people in Mississippi it's a lot of fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of trees grow over this gravesite.
Wow.
A lot of the locals do not eat from these fruit because they know the soil that it's growing in.
Yeah.
It's called the Devil's Punch Bowl.
Wow.
One of the many slaughters on our hands.
So what I was gonna say is that we gotta make it full circle, bring it all the way back to the day we talking about the immigrations and the murders.
Yeah.
Look what just happened in Spain, the border of Spain, on the Spanish border. Let me look it up, see if I can put it in the comments.
And while he looking that up, man, look in your history, y'all. The biggest event that happened in Spain's history was getting black people out of the country, called the Moors.
Yeah.
Like the biggest political, and the strategy done on these people. And here goes Sankofa for y'all. Sankofa meaning look back to go forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the strategy done on black people known as the Moors in Spain. They look to control them politically and economically, because by doing so, it allows them to keep these people powerless. And when they keep these people powerless, they're able to get them out of countries. You can call these Hebrews, you can call them whatever, but the strategy done on us by the minority on the planet is to always control us politically and economically.
So what this is Morocco. Morocco / Spain has horrific migrant deaths at the border. See, they calling them deaths.
Migrant deaths.
They calling them deaths, but they're murders.
Yeah.
Right. And and these are like off-brand media outlets.
Not the mainstream media.
It look like the Washington Post have something here.
Okay, they make you charge to look at their stuff though.
That's what they do.
So and the hard thing about it, and they say at least 18 died, right? But the video I seen, listen to me, I'm not exaggerating. So if the video I seen, it had to be at least 50 to 100 bodies laying on like a big courtyard.
Right.
Like, so to me, it looked like if you're coming to immigrate, you'll walk through this little checkpoint before you go to the real country. You like on the other side.
Yeah.
So this little breezeway in the middle is just full of bodies. They just stepping over them and stepping over. My first thought, I'm like, oh damn, what they done poison them? No, at first what they smoked them. What is they knockout gas? What the hell?
Yeah.
And it's death.
Not even thinking that these people are actually dead. Yeah.
These people dead. They killed all these people, man. So I'm gonna put the story on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club page so y'all check it out.
Please do. And just understand, y'all, the situation at hand is as we start to lock into first law of nature, a lot of stuff that we complain about, we will stop complaining about because we'll be actually doing it on ourselves. You see what I'm saying? When we're asking people, we're asking. That's a horrible situation to be in. You know what I'm saying? You can't find one law that say we have to work for other people.
And it's amazing that you say that they was looking to get rid of the Moors and move the Moors out of the country. Another one of the comments says that Moors are the same people who brought them out of the Dark Ages when they was riding bareback, butt naked on horses.
Who that
and
is?
Eating the livestock. It's a 2-5 the Fat Mac. I can't. Oh, 2-5
the Fat Mac. Big shouts out to 2-5 the Fat Mac, man. And the thing is, man, is think about all the things that black people have invented in America. You see what I'm saying? Like after slavery, blacks were known to file over 70% of all the patents, right? And so here it is, you still don't have protection by this United States government, despite everything that you've done in this country. You see what I'm saying? And so the thing is, once we get real history, we'll start repeating history. And so history don't repeat itself, y'all. People repeats history because of knowledge and lack of knowledge. When you know what people did to you 300 years ago, guess what you'll do? Everything other than that repeated cycle. But when they are telling you that in 1492, Columbus saw the ocean blue and then skipped to a boat ride just to bring more of y'all over here. You didn't come from Africa. They brought more of y'all over here. You see what I'm saying? They had the breeding camps in Virginia, y'all. Why? Because they was working people so long hours in the islands that people were not becoming adults down there. And so they had to breed them down up here and send them down there. Africa was only bringing more over here. We were already over here, y'all. They called it getting in the wind. The Africans used the boats, right? We didn't wait for Europeans to make boats, y'all. We invented boats. And so we used to use the hurricane winds to navigate from that side of Africa to this side of the country, to this side of the world. Just chill. We use the monsoon winds the other part of the year, later part of the year, just to get to Asia, y'all. You see what I'm saying? So Africans, we been getting in the wind for the longest. And when we don't have this knowledge, guess what we'll start doing? We'll start saying stuff like hurricanes, they follow the same path the slaves did. No, I'm sorry, but the Atlantic Ocean is being renamed, y'all. You got to look at the old maps. It used to be called the Ethiopian Sea.
There you go. So check it out. When you control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. That was Dr. Carter G. Woodson, and that was put in the chat by Sierra.
Big shouts out to what's one of these boys' name, man? Who on Monopoly Oil?
Rockefeller.
Big shouts out to Rockefeller, man. Rockefeller says, "Give me a control of a nation's money. I care not who makes its laws." There
you have it. So listen, y'all, you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, the new 99 Jams morning show. We want to let you know that as a community-owned public media resource, WUJM 99 Jams relies on the support of listeners like you to keep the shows that you love on the air, the doors open, the lights on, and to continue to put out quality programming in the Tampa Bay area. We'd like to ask that you please consider making a donation and becoming a show sponsor today. You can do that by going to 99jamstheberg.com, clicking on that donate button, and give a donation, man, and have us rock with you. So caller, it's What's on Your Mind Wednesday. Caller, what's your name? What's on your mind?
My name is Sierra Clark, a Joyful Day Breakfast Club. Appreciate all that y'all do for the community and just as individuals, as a collective. Like, and Reno was in the building, and I'm like, Reno's gonna be calling in, and then there he was. So,
you actually tuned in.
Yeah, so my consciousness was supersized with the word Sankofa. because the tagline for the new book, which is about history of St. Petersburg, the seed that started my history and the global history now. So it's the present learns from the past, but that's Sankofa, what the king just taught me. So that's the elevation of it. But I also do in a dedication dedicated to Laura Park, all these things that is so present that we rediscovering with the community redevelopment as far as the Trump. Right. And it's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be real life history. And if we don't undo it by reliving it new now, then we're going to repeat the same cycle like the king is saying. So the book is called A Rooted Journey Home. And I had to figure out, how do I know where I'm going if I don't know where I come from? Like, how do I know what beat I'm supposed to be beaten to when it was intentionally to make me lost? When y'all intentionally remove things about my history so I wouldn't know the way. But we know the way because we are the way, the truth and the light. So we just gotta do the way, y'all. So thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Sister Sierra, she always come in and drop it heavy, man. I appreciate it. Always Jules. So another story that I seen, headline, we talking about international Black people, destiny and all of that. There's a video of a suspect with a flamethrower torching the flag at the Uhuru House in St. Petersburg.
Wow.
Did you see it?
No, I did not.
I seen the video, man. And
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I think we got some real crazy stuff going on. Dude, back then, jumped out. He was too comfortable.
Yeah.
And I really respect what the Uhuru movement is doing. They still flying the flag.
So here's the story. It says just before 10 a.m. on Saturday, a white Honda sedan pulled into the parking spot into a parking spot outside of the Uhuru House, the Black Community Center in St. Petersburg. The driver stayed in the car for about 5 minutes before popping the trunk and retrieving something from inside. Surveillance cameras at the Uhuru House recorded as the person walked across the parking area carrying roughly a 4-foot-long object. Then they hold it up and a massive stream of fire shoots from one end. It was a flamethrower, and the suspect was apparently there to torch the red, black, and green flag that was raised in front of the center. The arsonist sprays the nearly 8-foot flame on and off for about 30 seconds before pacing back to the car, putting the flamethrower back in the truck and driving off. A photo of the flag shared by a volunteer at the Uhuru House showed the black singled hole was in the flag. Officials in St. Pete hope someone can recognize the car. They actually pulled in a way that you can still see the tag. So you should be able to get the tag number.
Mistake.
Yeah, rookie mistake, right?
It wasn't even a rookie mistake.
They just
this
was
guy,
mad. Yeah,
this guy, what it is, if you look at the African flag that flies over the Uhuru, that's maybe the biggest in the state.
Yeah, that thing.
I ain't gonna say the state because I ain't seen enough. But
it's just one of them.
But listen, when I see big flags like that,
yeah,
it's usually an American flag.
Yeah, and you got to think it's a couple days.
Flag,
it's a couple days before the 4th of July when everybody on their red, white, and blue and all of this, what have you. And so, just thinking about context as you getting ready to celebrate the colonialism,
it's like, man,
the codifying of the colonialism.
At some point, Brother John, you just get tired of seeing the drops they did on us. You know what I'm saying? Drops. Our community understand that language. You know what I mean? Just taking information. You know what I'm saying? And then putting it on it like it's theirs.
Tied into the flag. Why they burning the flag?
Like the ancient the colors of ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet is red, white, and blue.
Okay.
Like these are the colors,
yeah,
and so there
wasn't stars and stripes though, but yeah,
it was stars and stripes though too on a bird. Like the bird the bird they use is the same bird that's representing the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay,
and that's why Horus is supposed to be the sun disc, and the bird is the wing. It's the wing.
And
this bird,
and you see it on the dollar. How they got it's all there.
When we know our legacy, a lot of origin, and it's all our origin. It's an origin.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's an origin that's so respected that everybody in the world outside of us go to it for knowledge. And that's where the fun come in at, because it's that, like, we have to understand that we didn't teach them everything.
Okay,
we knew them. They didn't just enter the planet. We knew how they was. You know what I'm saying? Like Hannibal's father told him, you have to take the fight to that beast up there.
Yeah,
don't let him come down here. You see what I'm saying? So we knew about them. And they got like 33 degrees of knowledge, and that's where you freeze everything at.
Yeah, because that's when water freezes. And 33, you can't.
I love that because
you can't even make 10% of a circle with 33 degrees.
Look at the raw situation we're in right now, y'all.
Well, it was 360 degrees in a circle, and the highest level that they get is 33. So you still like.
Oh no, that's just the one that they talk about.
Yeah,
that's just the levels they talk about in public.
Yeah,
but I want to tie this into why they burning the flag though. Why they burning the red, black, and the green?
I think it's
provoking.
No, and
it's a national provoking going on.
No, I mean that too, but I think it's a form of jealousy. Because like I say, that's like the biggest. Like, listen,
I agree with that. I agree with envy, jealousy, anger.
I haven't seen an African flag that big. That flag is about the size of their building.
And then also what it represents. And
that's what I'm saying. That's a big statement. When you fly your flag, that is a big statement. That's why they fly.
Yeah.
Because it's important in nationhood, statehood. You fly
and
your
people
flag.
who understand that, they understand the significance of what it means
That's why they
to raise a
invalidate
flag.
that flag.
That's why when they went to the moon, they put a flag on the moon.
Exactly.
Because it has significance once you plant your flag and you raise it and you let it fly. And so with them flying this flag that way, that bold, that big,
you gotta look at
everybody can't take it. And he was like, you know what? Today
I'm finna go get my flame.
I'm finna go burn it down.
Honey, give me the flame.
You look at a lot of the movements as not just trying to end the game. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when we hike the ball, we just looking to get that 2 yards for a first down. And so when I'm saying provoking, because the same people have been identified as trying to start a race war.
That's what Robin said that too. They want us to react.
If someone's trying to start a race war and y'all been saying that for a little second, okay, we know what the try is. What the try is y'all verbalizing it, or they're gonna do stuff.
I think
they're gonna send a kid in with armor suit on because they're advancing the rock.
They're trying to get us involved in the race war because they already started the race war.
They never stopped.
We've been in a race war.
They never stopped. That's what Jim Crow was.
Like they never stopped the race war. So this idea that they're trying to start a race war, that's for people who don't realize that you already in the fight.
But this is what I'm gonna say about the people that's my people. We ain't in the war.
Yeah, black people don't find no enemies. Since y'all ain't got no enemies, guess what everybody doing to y'all? Bam you.
Throughout history, like throughout history,
and
we fight. Don't get me wrong, it fights big wars. Big wars, they fought for years. But like the real true bottom line, we ain't in the war.
Because
we more willing to live with you and cooperate and live together in harmony than we are with war, because that's the nature of us. Yeah. Our nature is of cooperative. Coming together, working together, living together. That's why we let the different people into Kemet and into Africa. Yes. Because we want to help them, we trade with them, we helping with them. Yeah. Woo, 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 woo.
The proverbs say the old proverb says, there's an African proverb says, do not let the white man on your land. It's not my proverb. It's not Reno proverb.
They must have made that proverb after they let them in.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Watch this.
Yeah, they had to let them in.
No, they didn't let them in. You're making us only be in Africa. We were all over the whole entire planet, so we knew about them.
But here's the logic. Here's the logic. You don't tell somebody thou shalt not kill if they not killers.
Exactly.
You don't say thou shalt not steal if they not stealing.
But think about it. If you're doing,
they don't give you laws.
If you're doing drops though,
just like just in case you're thinking about killing, we're gonna put a law that says don't
if
kill.
We're doing drops though, look at that whole story. Dude who went and got commandments to not kill was wanted for murder.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It was something that happened that caused them to create the law. So that proverb that says "don't let them in" probably was written after they let a few.
After somebody got killed.
Yeah, after somebody got let in, somebody was writing and said, "Hey, boy." a new proverb. Hey boy, don't you let them people in. Because this
so Mansa Musa was known, and we'll use this as a stay woke moment for the show on What's on Your Mind Wednesdays.
Grab it.
So basically, Mansa Musa was known as being one of the last African rulers to go against the ancient African proverb of "do not let them on your land because they soon take over." Right, and so they say that it took them about 20 years of begging to come in to get trade, because the African controlled trade globally.
Yeah.
And so it took 20 years of begging to come into their country and their lands in ancient Kemet. It took 30 years of begging to survey the lands to come into the Mali Empire, the Northern African Empire that Mansa Musa ran, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're going to say Sankofa, then look at this situation. The ancient African proverb says, do not let the white man on your land because he'll soon take over. The last time they told a story of coming in contact with us, they called themselves pilgrims in this story.
Yeah, they did.
And they called us Indians.
Stay woke, y'all. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke.
Stay woke, brother.
They soon take over.
Real talk. So it is What's on Your Mind Wednesday. We got there. We good? All right, so it's What's on Your Mind Wednesday again. Call in if you got something on your mind, 727-637-2416. Just real quick, also something I saw, and this is like one of them public service announcements. We've been talking about getting our people into places and positions to be able to make some calls. So the city of St. Peter's is seeking 2 residents to serve on the Small Business Enterprise Committee. So we know we got a lot of business owners in our community. We won't call them small business owners, but they're business owners in the community. And the program is intended to enhance contracting and procurement opportunities with small businesses. The committee is seeking applications, and they're doing that up until tomorrow. You can go to stpete.org/SBE committee to get more information.
Wait a minute, hold on. So you mean I can fill out for this here and be a part of a committee?
Yeah, the SBE committee.
I'm
is
filling
comprised.
out.
Yeah. So here's what they do. The committee uses participation percentages or a sheltered market to maximize SBE participation in construction projects of $50,000 or more. The SBE committee is comprised of 7 members. It's 5 individuals who hold city staff positions, 1 city resident who's appointed by the mayor for a term of 2 years, and then 1 city resident who is appointed by city council, the city council chair for 2 years, and you can apply to be on that committee to make decisions about how they do business within the city. And even if you ain't making a decision, again, we got what we call a disputo. You may be able to get in the way. Disputo. You can get in the way and really, let them know what's really going on. Dun, 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 dun. And also, we want to let you know that there's several ways that you can listen to the program. If you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, if you missed the conversation, we had a robust conversation earlier. If you want to go back and catch it, you can go to facebook.com/Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. If you want to listen online.com, and also you can donate to the program there, 99jamstheberg.com, hit the donate button. Also, if you like to advertise or promote your business, all the information on how to do that is on that website. Do it and do it now. Support local radio. All right. That's my two pieces.
So we gotta definitely talk about we just gotta talk about the black male engagement.
Yes.
And really what it is looking to engage the black men into getting some stuff done.
Yeah.
It ain't.
It's really, yeah. I think kind of the engagement is a part of it, but the bigger picture that's understood, and we know when we talk about these wars and the war on the race war and all of those things, and this idea about replacement theory, the prime target for that is the black man.
You in order to destroy people, when you are attacking a race of people, in order to destroy them, you have to first of all take out their defense mechanism. Mm-hmm. And so it's tough, y'all, because we got a situation where our women are being tricked to believe in independence. There's no such thing as independence. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because you cannot be independent of your counterpart. You know what I'm saying? Like we're complementary pairs, says our old culture. I understand that up under the European term, we are calling one another opposite sex. But just understand that your African story says that we were made by the Creator at the same time to complement one another on this human journey. And so other people have retwisted our story and said that we came from ribs and all this kind of stuff. But just deal into your African story.
Just the way you say that make it sound funny though.
It's just African. When you learn more about your African story, go ahead.
Excuse me, sis. Where you come from? A rib? Man, come on,
McMahon. Yeah. I came from McMahon.
I came from the rib of a man.
When you start holding on to your data and working and running and thinking through your data, it makes you operate different. You see what I'm saying? But you've been programmed a certain way, so you think that you're lesser than and this, that, and third. So when you get programmed to believe that you're lesser than, then the one thing you want to do is become greater than.
Yeah.
Anything lesser than wants to eventually be greater than.
From one extreme to the other. So you go from one extreme.
You go from one extreme to another, man. We complement one another on this journey here. You know what I mean? Like it's a tough situation we in right now, y'all.
So you said something that I saw Mr. Edmonds sit up in his chair and think about when you said there's no such thing as independence. What was that reaction, Mr. Edmonds?
The reason I reacted to that, because independence has been ingrained into the American society.
That's what 4th of July is all about.
We just celebrated Independence Day.
Yeah.
And America,
even like facts,
but America is
facts is a European concept.
But yeah, But listen,
we're talking about independence,
and I'm talking about America's independence, how it's ingrained in society. and it's a fake independence. America is dependent since the beginning on so many other things and so many other people.
Okay.
It's just like he said, the codependency of the man and the woman and all that. So I really set up because I agree with it.
Yeah.
Right. But it's a deeper thought because we in a society that's striving to be independent. Even the men, not just women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We striving.
We ain't striving to be independent.
I mean, yes,
we are not like
it's a goal.
I said this last week in South Carolina, bro.
For myself. That's why I'm saying it's a goal because I do want to be completely independent of the sucker ish. Right? Completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
That's what FNF is. Independent. That's what it means to be FNF.
That's what it means, though. That's what it means.
To be independent,
it's like a strive.
Sucker free.
And I call it, and I got a term for this, right? Because I make terms, and it's called toxic independence.
Ooh.
See?
And so here's what that
independence.
means. Here's what that means. Too much of anything ain't good, right? But we cannot associate that only when we're talking about food, right? So too much self-love ain't good. Because what you're doing is you're blocking out.
Hold on now.
I got you. This conversation is coming from a scientist.
Hold on now.
I'll wait for you. Let it breathe for a second.
Yeah.
I'll let it breathe for a second.
But
too much of anything ain't good.
Yeah,
so when you apply
okay.
too much love, and then now you're saying that I love me more than anything. I love me more than anything. I love me more than anything. And guess what starts to get out of this situation?
But that's not self-love, though. I love me more than anything is selfishness.
Yes,
so it's
between selfless and selfish.
No, because when you start as a beginning meditator, a person will tell you to start first of all by just saying I love myself, because what you're having to do is to block out the distractions that your mind gonna bring to you while you're meditating. So a quick introduction into meditation is to start off by bringing first of all love back to you.
So let's do independent. So I got independent. This is the adjective.
Hold on, bro, John. No,
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead. So independent. That way we can have a baseline, right? Free from outside control, not depending on another's authority. Canada's largest independent investment firm. It says when you're talking about a country, it means self-governing, not belonging to or supported by a political party, an independent candidate, not supported by public funds, an independent girls' school. Number 2, not depending on another for livelihood or subsistence. I wanted to remain independent in old age.
Now stop right there, because what you did, bro, John, was broke down the different levels of the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So when I was saying there's no such thing as independence, because I want to get out of our mindset for us to be independent of one another.
Yeah.
The black woman is saying that she don't need a man. You see what I'm saying? That's a horrible situation to be in, because you can't even get to this planet without a man.
Yeah.
But when we talking buffoonery, that's what kind of stuff that we'll say. We're nothing without each other.
I think the narrative that's being pushed is when it's really here, free from outside control, not depending on another's authority, and that's the independence. That's the independence that if you've been under bad authority,
you don't want to be under.
Right, you want to be independent.
So the thing is,
but you're not.
I'm on that because that part of the definition is where we at as a society. Right. So much don't want to be controlled or don't want to be under the influence of another person. Is then we want it so bad we end up being under the control influence.
Yeah,
right.
Correct.
We
you fighting against it so much that you actually become it.
Exactly. Yeah. We pushing against it so bad you are already participating in something that someone wants you to do.
Yeah.
By saying certain things. Oh, I don't need her. He don't need me. We don't need each other. And you know that whole
crazy.
That whole thought
it's crazy.
And don't get me wrong, I understand how society,
I don't need a woman for nothing.
But I understand
Lil
how
John,
society,
we need to have that on a button.
But listen, I understand how society, force people into these corners.
It's just conditioned.
People are nasty.
Yeah.
Like people will make it. Wait, hold on. People will turn a good person bad.
Learn behavior.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
learn
so
behavior.
Everybody ain't blessed to be in a circle where you can be dependent or codependent on each other.
Yeah.
Right. That's like a codependent parenting or a codependent. A lot of people don't have those pieces of the puzzle to do it. And so they go into a shell.
I'm going to tell you something that you told me. You told me this when we first started organizing, and I used to get upset when people wouldn't show up. They was undependable.
Yeah.
And then what you said, he told me, he said, you got it. He said that person is dependably independable.
Yeah. Undependable. Yeah.
Like you can count on that person
on you
not being there,
not to be counted on.
Exactly.
And just pulling that and extrapolating that further.
When you put them in that box.
Yeah, it's handled. But it's people who have depended on people who are undependable.
Yep.
And so it jades your view of what you want to be independent. But I don't want to depend on nobody because everybody who I depended on, they let me down. So I don't want to depend on nobody. I don't want to be under nobody's control because the control that I was under was abusive and all of that stuff. I don't want to be under your authority, so I don't want to respect your authority because the authority has been bad.
And then
I want to be independent.
And then that gets projected on other people who are similar or remind you of that person, like a father figure.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you get what I'm saying? And so now you projecting that undependability on somebody who's dependable.
Yeah,
you get what
but you got bit by a black dog, so not all black dogs.
All dogs, period. All dogs, period.
All dogs, period.
It's especially a black dog.
Especially a black dog.
Especially. No.
Yeah, you get comfortable. You get uncomfortable around all dogs, but that black dog,
especially him.
You but that's not the same dog that bit you, and that's what's happening. That's what I'm hearing Mr. Edmonds say.
Hey man, big shouts out.
Tell differences.
We had a conversation with him a couple weeks ago, man. Big shouts out to my brother Eric Mobley, man. He is the president of the New Era Chicago chapter.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Very rarely do you get me to share stuff. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I mean? But my brother words went down my timeline a few weeks ago, man. I just want to play some on everybody again, man. I think I'm just gonna keep just saying this right.
The New Era Chicago, right?
Man, New Era Chicago, man. Big shouts out to Eric, man. You have been mentioned down here in Florida, baby.
Real talk.
My brother says self-hatred doesn't only manifest itself in the form of shooters, gangbangers, drug dealers, or other criminals. Nah, man, some of the worst cases of self-hatred manifest itself in the form of apathy and lack of concern.
Hold on. Keep going though. Keep going.
Some of the
it's gonna get big.
I want you to stop as soon as you're done though.
Well, that's a scale, right?
No, hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah.
Because I done heard this before.
Okay, go ahead. So read that last part again, just for the people in the back.
The idea that the black people and the black community are unworthy of any commitment from you as a black individual is nothing more than self-hatred. Why does the black community not deserve the commitment from black people?
So listen. So I got a feeling about that, right?
This is conditioning.
He correct, but you know he's a little jaded in that comment because when you say why doesn't the black community care about itself, you just invalidate my whole existence.
Yeah, because
I'm not down here putting my whole life on the line and everything I'm doing for my community, and to read a person saying, "Oh, the black community don't care." No, you talking about the certain people that you're talking about, and you have to say that because your word is so powerful. That spell that just got cast over the airwaves just seeped in somebody's head. You get what I'm saying? But the reality is, it's not true. You know what I'm saying? It's a group. It's groups of us. It's him. He's making his own self not even be there.
We had this conversation about a we because somebody said we ain't doing nothing.
Who is we? Yeah, you talking?
And I said, well, maybe the we that they talking about is them in their circle.
Yeah.
Because when they say, man, we ain't doing nothing, it's like, hold on, don't put me in that.
And so, and that's why I like that it came from. That's why I like that it came from the president of New Era Chicago, because that brother himself is walking through the streets of Chicago, going in corner stores when a black woman is being disrespected in Chicago.
Yeah,
not that bull crap news that we hear about all the killers in Chicago. It's other stuff going on in Chicago, and that brother happens to be no different than Brother John Muhammad and Jabbar Edmond and Reno Moore in terms of what he's actually doing in the community. So when he says that, he's not saying that from a position of us not existing, and I understand that because I brought that thought process to the conversation.
I gave it to
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah. You know, I get it.
And that's stable datum. Like, think with that.
Yeah. No, that's hey, look here, man. It's in the clip.
You're not finna
it's in the clip.
My existence by telling me what we don't do.
And the analogy that we use, is I love to use the Back to the Future. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was in the past back there, if he wasn't getting his daddy and his mama together, him and his brothers was disappearing on that picture. You know what I'm saying? And so they were not being existence. You know what I'm saying? So no, we definitely exist. You know what I'm saying? And I add words to help with this the message. You know what I'm saying? The vast majority of us are not doing anything, and that's not right.
Yeah,
and the vast majority of us need. I mean, it's like, what more do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can your community not get your commitment to make a better community?
Yeah.
I start off with small stuff, y'all. I start off by attacking just littering.
Yeah.
See, I understand the work that has to be done. So it ain't about, hey, I'm gonna come up to do the work. I just come up and do the work.
Right.
Everywhere I'm at, I'm doing the work. I promise you, my conversation is riddled with the work. My movements is riddled with the work. You see what I'm saying? So you can actually watch a lot of things that we're doing, not everything. See, that's how you get insane. When you try to look at everything someone's doing. When you look at everything the pastor's doing, you're gonna find some faults.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But guess what? If you ain't looking for faults, you ain't gonna find none. So if it's all about your mindset and approaching the situation, you know what I'm saying? The vast majority of our people, not black people in general, right? We're painted with a real broad brush. So let's bring it back a little bit.
Thank you.
Dang near
you gotta
all.
leave room. You gotta leave a room.
Just because we on the air, I'm gonna say it the clean way. Dang near all y'all though.
Yeah. But not even dang near all, but
dang near.
Yeah.
Dang near, because I've been out here. Now, one thing I ain't been doing is not been out here.
But it ain't everybody's
and
job.
Dang near everybody we know ain't participating with us.
But it ain't everybody's job.
It's not everybody's job.
So first, when
it's not everybody's job.
Revolution and building our community up, there's going to be departments.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Talk to them.
And in the department, we're in a certain department.
Talk to them.
And everybody's not going to be in our department. Everybody's not.
If our department is frontline handling it,
that's why I like about the military.
Else when they
every person in the military don't go on the front line. There's nurses for real. They never see the front line.
That's what I'm saying. And it's people that's fighting in the military that ain't getting their credit.
And then you got.
We don't supposed to do that to veterans.
And I guess.
But we don't. But hold on though. We've been on the front line so long. We're not even talking about them.
But here's
so we're actually doing. We're talking about dang. What do you mean?
Dang
near everybody you know. Come on, man. You know 500 people that's really doing something, and I give you a large number.
I don't.
That's a large number.
But listen, this is what I'm
500
saying. But
people.
this is what I do
actively.
Let's hear this.
But I know it's 500 people who are doing their part.
They're doing something.
They're doing their part.
Yeah.
Even if it's just going to
actively
work.
doing nothing. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Because you're right. You're right. You're right.
We can't take this call. We can't. We got like 60 seconds.
We gotta do.
We gotta do.
Y'all. Be a part of the conversation.
We gotta do final thoughts.
Nothing. Listen, that's
everybody's doing something.
That's why we talk about
everybody doing something.
But it just may not be the thing you think they should be.
Everybody doing something. If you're doing nothing,
let's do final thoughts.
You gotta think about it. Our community is looking like trash, and it's not because of phantoms. Our community is about trash because people let down windows and still throw out almost anything at their car. That is not phantom. That's my last words, y'all.
Okay. My final thought, man. It's been a great show, man. I love it when the whole Voltron get together.
Yeah.
Kiana, we missing you.
We do.
Ask Q.
We're gonna hold it down until you come up.
I love that.
That's real.
Until you get back. Yes, so yeah, y'all, it is. Y'all stay tuned. There's a lot more conversations to be had about black male engagement, the work we're doing around black men, and you're gonna see that rolling out within the next couple days, as a matter of fact. And so y'all stick around for it, man. The more that needs to be done, it needs to be said, man. That's my final thought. I'm your brother John.
This is the one and only Mr. Edmond.
Black man, stand up.
Believe and do good.
WUJM, St. Petersburg.
Right now.
Peace and light. This is your brother John, and I would like to invite you to tune in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Jams every Monday and Wednesday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the latest in pop culture news and unique perspectives on hot topics. Make sure you tune in and start your day off right with the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99.1 FM, 99 Jams.